Hey guys, what is up? It's SkullFlag44 here, back again making a video about Ultimate Frisbee because that's what I've been doing as of late and not making real videos or doing what I used to do. I still have some MLB 2K12 or 13 or whatever the baseball game I was playing. I still have some of those videos to go up, but I haven't edited them, and it's kind of like I could do it, I might do it. I just kind of got to get in the mood to do it. Maybe after this weekend, I will have some time to do it because I could definitely do it now. I could do it right after I do this. Maybe I will, but I don't know if I'll be too motivated to do it because it just doesn't seem. I don't know, it just doesn't seem necessary. But I do have those to post if I really feel like posting something. But that's not really recording anything. So anyway, on to the topic at hand, which is Ultimate Frisbee, because that's what I've been involved with, or focused on, I guess. Kind of I kind of taken my video time and turned that into Ultimate Frisbee time with meetings and practices on Monday and Thursday, and then games on Saturday. So I'll kind of walk you through kind of what's happened because it's been pretty intense. So starting off with last Saturday, which would be let's see, what day would that be? The 4th? Yeah, May 4th. May the 4th be with you. That day, we played our final regular season game of the season, and we played a team that was pretty talented. They had some good players. We were pretty athletic, but we beat them 10-5, and so that ended the regular season. So we finished the regular season at 7-1, top division. So the C division regular season champions. There was the team that we lost to was also 7-1, but we scored more points than them, so that's how they had in the standings. Whether we're actually whether we should be number one in there, I don't really know, but it shows them in the standings that we are number one, so we're going with that because it sounds a lot better anyway. And then so we played that, and then the website said on May 8th the playoff schedule would be released. So that was pretty exciting because I talked about wanting to do well in the playoffs, and that's where the champions are made. You know, regular season is fun and all, but it's all about the playoffs. So we were kind of excited. We're like, okay, maybe we'll get paired up with one of the weaker teams that we beat before. That'll be a kind of a fun game to play where you can just play everyone. So we were excited about that. I remember I woke up Wednesday. I checked it to see maybe they put it up because I was pretty excited. It's pretty big deal, impacting the next couple weeks and who we'd play and what would go down. So all of Wednesday, it gets to Wednesday night at 6. I'm constantly checking. They say oh, it should be out later today, but then go to check at 10, still nothing. Go to bed, and then nothing. Wake up, I get an email saying that we are going to be placed in the B division and the schedule would be finalized within the next couple hours, or later that morning. It was sent out at 11:30. But I saw it at 6, so I was like, oh man, B division, that's a pretty big deal because we've been in the C division doing really well, but B division's a pretty big step. So that was kind of okay, this is gonna be interesting. We got moved up with the team that beat us in the very first game when we had no rotations, and it's kind of frustrating loss to look back on now because it's only one we've lost. And the other team that we played back that we beat, good teams, and so that was kind of interesting to see. And then another note is that this one team got moved down to the C division, and we had beat their JV team 15-0. We just wrecked them. It was absolutely brutal. And then but their varsity team got moved down to the C division. We were talking about their varsity guys, and he was saying oh yeah, maybe you guys can make it in the B division, but it's gonna be tough. But we are better than them now apparently because we moved up to the B division and they got moved down to the C division. So that was kind of something everyone was kind of pumped up about because he said we couldn't do it and we did it better than they did. So we got moved up to the B division, and then so then the playoff schedule, I checked in math. I've two of my friends are on the Frisbee team in math, so we were kind of checking it. I was talking to them, and it said we were going to be playing this one team that we're going to be a 6 seed, and we're playing this other team that's a 3 seed. And so that's a pretty big deal. The team that beat us is a 5 seed playing a 4 seed, and the other team that we beat is a 7 seed playing a 2 seed. So we were going to play a game. We played the game last Saturday, so we were kind of excited, or this like yesterday, I guess, from when I'm recording this. So we were pretty excited because that's a pretty big step. It was going to be a really tough game. We checked the team we were playing. They were called Flow, and they were 4-4 with 77 goals scored and 77 goals allowed. So they were the perfect average B team, and so it would give us a good taste of the competition for next year when we move up to the B division. So I was like, oh man, okay, this is going to be a really good test to see where we stand, and it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. So we were wondering if we would have to cut the roster to try to trim it down to do really well in the playoffs. But we decided against that because it was, so late, and they didn't give us enough, time to see who could make it, and they didn't say we had to do that or anything. So we ended up not cutting the roster, but saying, okay, there's no guaranteed playing time. We're going to do our best to win. That's going to be our main focus. And we saw in the bracket that if we won this game, then we'd get 2 more games after this as a doubleheader. So that's a pretty big incentive to try to, extend the season and play more games, which everyone wants to do. But if we lost this game, our season is over. So that's a pretty tough draw there. So at this point, I'm pretty anxious. I'm like, oh man, this is going to be a really tough game. We're going to have to play, extremely well. These guys are going to be, first of all, we're all sophomores playing this. So all the guys are going to be upper, older than us, bigger than us, stronger than us. But we've got a lot of talent. We're pretty gifted. We've got a lot of depth on our team, a lot of solid players. Everyone's a solid player. Obviously, some are better than others, but everyone has the capability to be a really strong, player, but just need more consistency out of some. And so we get that. We put out a little poll to see who can make it. We've got a pretty good draw. We got one guy who's our one lone junior who can't make it. So that means we're going to be playing all sophomores, and he's a pretty good player that can go up. He's pretty tall, can go up and get it. So that was not pretty big loss, but nothing that we couldn't survive without. We've got our top 5 players were there, which is really nice. We had some really good players. So we're like, okay, let's see what happens. So I put together the rotations. I talked to Oliver about how we wanted to organize this, and he suggested doing like a two-man group or group rotation system sort of thing, where if we get down, we can just go off that. And I agreed, and I kind of tweaked it a bit. So I made it so we had our starter group. When I put together the rotations, I make a group of 5 guys. And then a group of 4 guys, because the usual rotation you play 4 guys, 3 girls at a time, but we are always either. I mean, we've had games where we've had plenty of girls, but we've had other games where we've had just 2 girls, and this game we had just 2 girls. So I made the 5-man group and the 4-man group, but we knew we had to go with the 5-man group because that's what we only had 2 girls to play. And it turned out that they only had 1 girl, so it was no problem. So we ended up playing 5-1. So I made a starters group, which is our top 5 players, and then regular rotations, 3 rotations of 5, which is just everyone playing in those. And then, it was pretty solid at that point because we had a lot. Everyone's a pretty good player. And then I made a core, I call them core rotations, or core groups of just the top 10 players ended up being, which is just you really not as strong as starters, but just really solid players. And that's what we'd go to if we had to play starters for an extended period of time, because we'd get tired out. So then we can it includes the starters, but we're able to switch off and everyone gets rested up nicely. And so that was kind of the prep going into there. We were pretty excited. I didn't know. I was worried. I was like, okay. I was talking to my dad about this, who's the coach. And I was like, as long as we don't get blown out, I'll be happy. I just want to keep it competitive, keep it a good game, and we'll see what happens. I just didn't want to, just get embarrassed out there, because that would be tough. And I knew I wasn't sure, what the level of competition the B League was. There's obviously an A League or A Division, B Division, C Division. This is our first year playing competitively, so we made a pretty big jump. But I knew we had some really good players. Everyone's improving like crazy. I knew we had a really solid core that we could go to, obviously. And I knew, we would see what happened. So up comes game day. So our game was at 11:30 yesterday, and we got out there. We met all at the park and ride at let's see, what was it, 10. Got all pumped up. I was getting, trying to get everyone going. We needed everyone to be at the top of their game. We knew this was pretty much going to be, our toughest game yet. We needed everyone going. And before that, I made some pre-game notes to kind of tell the team to try to get everyone, you know, on the same page. And then, okay, I just had to see. Quick little side note. So when I'm using iMovie to record this, and I have to have the ultimate picture, which is something I found off Google real quick. But I have to make it, like, only goes up to 10 minutes each picture, so I had to make like 3 pictures. Now I wasn't sure if the voiceover would transfer over to the second picture, so I had to do a quick pause there. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Made some pregame notes, try to, you know, things I thought we could improve on, needed to focus on. Had that ready, had everyone going. I was like, okay, let's see what happens. So we get there. It's kind of it's near a field we played on before, but not any field that we had played on before. Kind of in like a park area on the soccer field, and so there were some middle school games going on before us, and so we were kind of watching them. The middle schools are actually like they can make some nice throws. They're actually pretty decent. It's just catching that for whatever reason, no one, like, every single team has a problem with catching. It seems like every team we've faced has a problem with catching. Our team has a problem with catching. Not as badly. We've worked some of this stuff out, but you know, every once in a while you get some drops in there. And even I was watching some Major League Ultimate stuff, and they drop it too. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, this is just fundamental stuff that before we go on to bigger strategies, we need to make sure we can catch consistently. But our catching is generally above our average from the teams we played, but I'm sure as we get up into the higher divisions, it gets even better. And so, okay, so we get there, we're kind of playing around on like some grass near like a playground area because the fields are taken up with the middle school teams. Kind of warming up, trying to get our throws in point, and everyone's kind of practicing, getting everything going. And then, so we're kind of start looking out for the flow players, and they are wearing their, they said in their thing they wear neon jerseys, so I was kind of looking out for that. And I thought I saw one guy. So my dad goes over there and talks to him, and they say they had like prom or something like that. One of these, like, either tonight or last night or something like that, and so they were stuck in traffic, all this sort of stuff going on. So I started thinking, oh man, so we got to be looking out. If they don't have if they don't have more than 5 players to play, we got to start deducting points, because at this point we needed to be ruthless, we needed to be going, we needed to have everything to win. You know, we had to be all out. A quick little note I missed. I guess I could just throw it in here now. Or later. So we were getting ready, getting going, trying to get everyone pumped up, you know, acting like this was it. So we sat everyone down with about, you know, I guess 15 minutes to go till game time. Got everyone going. I said my stuff, just focused on, you know, we need everyone catching, we need everyone to be at the top of the game. This is it. Everyone's not gonna be able to play, but we need everyone focused on everyone will be able to hopefully be able to play, but not as much as maybe we have played before, with pretty even playing time. But yeah, so we said that, we got everyone kind of going, and then Friday night I had discussed with my dad about this plan about having one of the guys just go long right when we get a turnover. So we'd want to pull it, and it's like a kickoff, get a turnover. Once we get the turnover, we just send one of the guys long. And so I had it all set up. I'd have Connor, like, I'd try to pick it up, and then if I wasn't able to get a good throw off, I'd pop it to Connor, who'd throw it long to this one guy who's breaking long. And so we had that all set up. So I told him, like, right before the game, you know, the plan, and we got everyone, you know, going. So I knew this was my initial plan. I knew we needed a quick punch in the face to them. We need to be physical. We need to show up. We need to act like we belong here. Because they had some big guys. They had this one guy who was like huge, like he was probably like 6'5", and he was super long, super athletic. He could make all the throws and could go up and get it like crazy. So luckily we had one guy that could pretty much guard him pretty well, and did a great job with him. And he kind of held us from him taking over the game. So that was really, really clutch. So we start with the pull. We kick off down there. We always like pulling first or kicking off first, because that gives us a chance to come back in the second half, and we receive in the second half, so that makes it a lot easier for us. And we can adjust to them easier, because if they are able to move it up the field the first time and score, then it's not that big of it's an issue, but it's like, okay, well, they got it first, so it makes sense that they would score there. But if we're able to get a stop, we're able to get a quick score, then we get it turned the other way, and it's a nice advantage for us. So I think what happened is they miss it or make a bad throw or a bad connection about around midfield. So I go and try to pick it up, and I kind of like stumble picking it up a bit. Like, I try to pick it up, but then I wasn't, you know, it's not that I was super nervous, but I like almost missed the pickup. Like, I was too focused on trying to look downfield. So I get it. get in my hands, and then I just chuck it long. And this guy's like super fast. Like he can go, he can as fast as anyone we've played against. He just goes, pulls it in, quick score. We're all pumped up. We're fired up because that was our quick score. We're beating this team 1-0, and they're a B division team. And so then we keep this was with our starter group because we have our starters in for 2 points. So we keep the same group in. So I am, in there. We're going, we pull off, we get down there, and we're able to score again off some nice connections. We're just moving really nicely. So we're up 2-0 going into our first rotation. So now we move into our regular rotations, which is not our core rotations, which is like our stronger rotation group, but our just regular rotations with everyone, but still pretty strong. And we're able to hang in there. I guess we were down 2 points at one point. I know we were definitely down 1 point, but we get there to about like I think we got up like it was like 5-5 or something like that, and then we put our core groups back in. Or once we were down, we put our core groups back in. We got it back up to 5-5, and then we just started rolling. We were just going like crazy. There was one play where this one guy goes up on our team. It's like thrown out or it gets thrown to him. It gets tipped out. It looks like it, but it's like still popped up. He runs over and pulls a greatest, but he does like the weirdest thing ever. He hits it with like his palms or something like that, and he doesn't even look to throw it. He just like pops it back in. Other guy makes a diving catch and then throws it to Oliver for the goal. But Oliver was clearly out of bounds, which I thought I saw clearly. I'm looking down the sideline. I'm not playing at this point. I look down and I see him step out, and I'm like, oh dang it, that was such a great play. Everything was perfect, but the throw was just too far to the corner where he couldn't keep his legs in. But apparently they didn't see it, and they just let him have it, and so that was great. So we scored off that, and that was pretty much a big momentum shift because we were just making crazy plays. We were pumped up. The other team was frustrated. Most of their team, was like, or the one super good guy was like super nice and everything, but this one other guy who was really pretty good was super frustrated. And so then we started pulling away. We got up to, I think it was 6-5 at that point. Then we got up to 7-5, and we're like, all right, if we can get this, we get halftime, that'd be huge. And then that gives us, a chance to go up 8-5 halftime, a big point. So we get that, go up 8-5, and we're going to receive the disc the next point. So we're pretty excited at this point. We're all like, wow, we can do this. Let's do this. So we get everyone, before we go back in, we get everyone rested up. Get everyone pumped up, saying, all right, this is it. We can do this. We got a chance to have a big upset. And so we go on. We continue with our core groups and just push them. And we just are wrecking them. We get up 14 to 6, and then we put in the players that haven't played as much, haven't been kind of like the bench guys while the core group guys are in, and so then it goes to 14-7, and then we put in our starters at the very end to try to end it, to try to get a quick good note, because we wanted this to be a statement game to prove that we belong, to hopefully try to intimidate, hopefully the score is posted so the other team can see that we're a really solid team. They have to be ready for us. So that was a crazy game. We got the win 15-7. We were just kind of going. They were undermanned, but and they just had one girl, so the two girls that we were playing could just pretty much destroy him because she was just so tired by the end of it. And so it was fantastic, so much fun. We did it, and now we are playing next weekend for a doubleheader. So we play our first game against this one team who I think we talked to some of the guys at one point, and they seemed like pretty nice guys. They seemed like pretty good players. And then one of the teams that we played before that we beat. So the winner of that game, and that they play at 9 o'clock at the same place where we play next weekend. So they'll have to play a game right after each other, which is good for us because they're going to be pretty tired already, pretty worn out. So we're going to be fresh, and I think we'll just do the same thing that we did last time, try to push them along, beat them along, because that's the thing I've noticed. That's where the other team scored against us, and we scored against them, was when we pushed it along. We can move it pretty well, move it up the field. We've got some good movement. Everyone, especially when we get in our core groups or starter groups, everyone, really just sees it well, makes good decisions with it. And sure-handed and all that stuff is great. We had some great defense, great plays. It was a lot of fun to watch, seeing this stuff come together. And it's great when you have a plan and you execute it and it works to perfection and you get the win. So yeah, it was good. I felt a little bad at the end because we were going pretty hard, we were pumped up, and then we just kind of we just kind of destroyed them. Like it was a close game, but then we just pulled away. And it kind of like the tables kind of turned where I think it started out with they definitely had the advantage, and they, or at least we thought they were the better team. But then once we started going, we realized, all right, we can hang with them. So now we're guaranteed fourth place out of 7 teams in this B division playoffs, which is pretty darn solid for what we've done in our first year, which is like perfectly average. The fact that we could get to like the average team, beat the average team of the B division off of our first year is pretty amazing. And I think we've got a good shot to do something pretty good. I think we can actually make something happen because once we got our core rotations in there, we were just moving. So it should be fun next weekend. Or at least I've got a lot more confidence that we can actually do something. And I'm pretty excited to see what happens. Then afterward, we had a party at one of the guys on the team who joined late, so he couldn't be on the competitive side of the team, but he's come to a couple practices. So that was a ton of fun. So he has access to the lake, so it was awesome doing that stuff. Just hung out on a tube, jumped in the lake, felt great. Good fun, great time. It's awesome when you have a plan to have something come together, like I was talking about before. It's good, but then when you have like an overarching plan, I remember I was thinking, I think it was like summer of 8th grade, maybe something like that. When I'm back in middle school, I was talking to Connor like, man, I think we should definitely start up a Ultimate Frisbee Club, trying to get that going, because I knew I wanted something for, colleges to try to join something. I mean, Ultimate Frisbee was always a ton of fun. And so I was talking to him about it. He's like, yeah, let's do it. So then we put it together all of freshman year. We're working on it, trying to get everything going, trying to figure out all these forms and go to meetings to try to get this thing approved. And we finally get it approved, and then we're able to start it up this year, and it's just growing like crazy, and everyone loves it. It's awesome seeing everyone, really enjoy the thing that I also enjoy, and it's fun. Just all these guys are just a great group of guys and gals, and all my friends. It's great because it's just my friend group. All having a good time playing the sport I love, and it's awesome when you're winning as well. So it's been a ton of fun. I've said before that like the one thing I really like, the one thing that I really like doing, or I think it's like my biggest goal in life, is try to impact as many people as possible in like a positive way. And I think Ultimate Frisbee is a perfect example of that, because it's pretty much a lot of our it's the biggest thing we're not necessarily the biggest thing we're doing, but it's all something we're a part of and a pretty big part of our lives at this point. And it's been a ton of fun. We'll continue throughout the summer and the rest of our high school career, and hopefully into college maybe too. We'll see how it all goes, but it's been great. I'm super excited, and we're only sophomores, so we've got junior and senior year to do it too. And hopefully by senior year, our plan is to take on the A division, and we'll see how this B division playoffs shake out. And so yeah, it should be a ton of fun. I'm super excited, super stoked with how this whole thing turned out, and yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at this point. Pretty long commentary. Hope I explained some of the stuff. I'm sure I forgot some stuff that I wanted to talk about, but that's all right. So yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on. I'm sure as far as the rest of my channel, maybe when summer starts, I'll get back to posting. I'm going to Hawaii near the start of summer, so I might be able to record some videos there, which would be kind of cool because I've got my iPhone 5 now. There's lots of cool stuff to record. But the other thing, I probably won't be wanting to take my iPhone 5 out to the beach, because I don't even, when we're going to these parties and stuff, I just leave my phone in the car because I don't want anything to happen to that. And yeah, so we'll see how it all plays out. It's been a ton of fun. School's wrapping up, which is nice, and life is getting good. Oh, and the other thing is the Sonics news is improving, so by Wednesday we should have a good idea of what's happening there. Even though it's probably not coming back, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time, and thanks for watching.